The Nazca Lines, Peru's giant geoglyphs, and their unknown purpose imagine vast, sprawling designs etched into the very surface of the earth, so enormous they can only be truly appreciated from hundreds of feet in the air. Now picture these colossal figures, hummingbirds, monkeys, spiders, and perfectly straight lines stretching for miles, created not with modern machinery, but by an ancient civilization over 2 millennia ago, in one of the driest deserts on the planet. This isn't a work of fiction. This is the enduring, breathtaking enigma of the Nazca Lines, Peru's colossal geoglyphs, whose purpose has baffled archaeologists, scientists, and theorists for centuries. Who created these magnificent desert art pieces? And more importantly, why were they astronomical calendars, ceremonial pathways, or messages for otherworldly beings? Join AdventureHidden as we soar above the Nazca Desert, delving into the facts, the fascinating theories, and the perplexing questions surrounding one of humanity's most monumental and mysterious artistic achievements. Chapter 1: The Canvas of the Desert. Discovery and Location. The stage for this incredible mystery is set in the arid landscape of southern Peru. The location: the Nazca Lines are located in the Nazca Desert, a high arid plateau stretching between the towns of Nazca and Palpa in the Palpa province, Nazca region, of Peru. This region is one of the driest on Earth, receiving almost no rainfall, which has been crucial to the preservation of the lines for thousands of years. The creators: these geoglyphs are attributed to the ancient Nazca culture, which flourished in the region from roughly 100 BCE to 800 CE1. This pre-Incan civilization was known for its sophisticated pottery, textiles, and hydraulic engineering, demonstrating an advanced understanding of their environment. Discovery: while local populations were undoubtedly aware of them, the lines largely went unnoticed by the outside world until the 1920s, when commercial flights over the region made them impossible to ignore. American archaeologist Alfred Kroeber was one of the first to study them academically. However, it was Paul Kosak, an American historian, and later, the German mathematician and archaeologist Maria Reich, who dedicated decades of their lives to mapping, studying, and protecting these enigmatic figures. Reich famously spent much of her life living in a small house near the lines, meticulously documenting them. The sheer scale is breathtaking. The lines span an area of nearly 450 square kilometers, 170 square miles. Some individual figures stretch for hundreds of meters. The hummingbird, for example, is 93 meters, 305 feet long, and the lizard is an astounding 187 meters, 613 feet long. Their true grandeur is only apparent from an aerial perspective. Chapter 2: How were they made? The engineering marvel. The creation of the Nazca Lines, using ancient tools and methods, is an engineering feat in itself, prompting questions about their precise execution. The technique: the lines were created by removing the reddish-brown iron oxide-coated pebbles and rocks that cover the desert surface, exposing the lighter-colored soil rich in gypsum and clay. Underneath points, the exposed lighter surface then contrasts sharply with the darker desert floor. Simple tools, grand results. The Nazca people likely used simple surveying tools and techniques. They would have used ropes and stakes to lay out straight lines and compasses, or an understanding of celestial movements for alignment. For complex figures, they might have created small-scale models first, then scaled them up using a grid system, or by laying out a central point and radiating lines to mark out proportions. Precision and preservation. The lines are remarkably precise, with incredibly straight lines extending for miles despite the undulating terrain. The aridity of the Nazca Desert, combined with a lack of wind, rainfall, and erosion, has perfectly preserved these fragile designs for nearly 2 millennia. The unique climate creates a cushion of warm air above the desert floor, protecting the lines from being easily blown away. The paradox of visibility. The most intriguing aspect of their construction is that they can only be fully appreciated from the air. This immediately raises the question: who were they for? Why create something so vast that its true form is hidden from ground-level view? This paradox of visibility is at the heart of the Nazca mystery. Chapter 3: The figures, animals, and straight lines. The Nazca Lines are not a monolithic creation. They encompass a diverse array of designs, each contributing to the overall enigma. Biomorphs, animal figures. These are arguably the most famous and captivating. They include the hummingbird, one of the most iconic, with a wingspan of over 90 meters, 300 feet. The spider, a highly detailed figure, measuring 45 meters, 150 feet long. The monkey, depicted with a coiled tail, around 100 meters, 330 feet long. The condor, pelican, lizard, dog, human-like figures, and even a whale are also present. These figures are often single, continuous lines, geometrics. Alongside the animal figures are thousands of geometric shapes, including trapezoids and triangles, enormous and precise, some stretching over a kilometer in length. Rectangles and spirals, also found in various sizes and configurations. Straight lines, perhaps the most numerous and perplexing, are the perfectly straight lines that crisscross the desert floor, some extending for many kilometers over undulating terrain. These lines often seem to point towards distant hills or significant features. The significance of imagery. The chosen animals often represent figures important in Nazca cosmology and daily life, such as those associated with water hummingbirds, monkeys, spiders, which was vital in the arid desert. The exact symbolic meaning of each figure, however, remains debated. The sheer variety and precision of these designs underscore a highly organized and purposeful effort. Chapter 4. Theories of Purpose, Astronomical Calendars and Ceremonial Pathways. Generations of researchers have proposed various theories to explain the purpose of the Nazca Lines, attempting to connect them to the beliefs and practical needs of the ancient Nazca people. Astronomical Calendar Observatory. Maria Reich's theory. The most prominent theory, largely championed by Maria Reich, she believed that many of the lines and figures had astronomical alignments, serving as a vast observatory or calendar. For example, some lines point to the rising and setting points of the sun or stars at solstices and equinoxes, crucial for agricultural cycles. The spider figure has been linked to the constellation Orion, and the monkey to the Big Dipper. While some alignments have been statistically proven, not all lines show clear astronomical correlations, leading to ongoing debate. Ceremonial pathways, ritualistic function. Another widely accepted theory suggests the lines served a ritualistic purpose. The straight lines might have been pathways for ceremonial processions. The figures themselves could have been sacred spaces for rites associated with water, fertility, or ancestral worship. Walking the lines could have been a form of pilgrimage or meditation. The fragile nature of the lines suggests they were not meant for constant foot traffic, perhaps only for specific, rare ceremonies. Water and fertility rituals. Given the extreme aridity of the Nazca Desert, water was paramount. Some theories propose the lines were part of a complex system of water worship or to indicate underground water sources, aquifers, or perhaps even as prayers to the gods for rain. The animals depicted often have associations with water, like the hummingbird, which appears after rain. Other terrestrial theories. Clan markers, representing different Nazca clans or families. Communication, a form of communication or mapping, a system within the Nazca society. Roads, trails. While some lines are remarkably straight, their purpose as practical roads is generally dismissed due to their fragility. These terrestrial theories emphasize the ingenuity and spiritual depth of the Nazca civilization, but the why seen from above question continues to prompt more audacious explanations. Asterisk. Chapter 5. The Ancient Astronaut Theory and Beyond. The most sensational, and perhaps most captivating theory about the Nazca Lines suggests a purpose beyond human comprehension, a message for extraterrestrial visitors. Erich von Däniken and Chariots of the Gods. The Swiss author Erich von Däniken popularized the ancient astronaut theory in his 1968 book, suggesting that ancient civilizations were visited by extraterrestrial beings who influenced their development. Regarding the Nazca Lines, he famously proposed they were ancient runways, landing strips, designed for spacecraft, with the geometric shapes acting as indicators, messages to the gods, aliens, that the Nazca people created them as signals or offerings to the sky gods who had previously visited them. The allure of the extraordinary. This theory gained immense popularity due to its dramatic nature and the lines' inherent seen from above quality. For many, it provided a thrilling explanation for something that conventional archaeology struggled to fully explain. The argument is that only a being that could view the lines from the air would truly appreciate them. Counter-arguments and debunking. Mainstream archaeologists overwhelmingly dismiss the ancient astronaut theory for the Nazca Lines. No evidence of landings. There is no physical evidence, burn marks, advanced materials to suggest spacecraft ever landed on the lines. Simple construction. The lines were created using simple tools and methods entirely within human capability. Cultural context. The figures align with known Nazca iconography and cosmology, suggesting terrestrial origins and purposes related to their beliefs and environment. Visibility for humans, while seen best from the air. Elevated vantage points. Hills exist around the Nazca Plain from which some of the smaller figures and geometric shapes can be observed or surveyed during creation. Despite academic rejection, the ancient astronaut theory remains a powerful cultural narrative that continues to fuel public fascination with the Nazca Lines, ensuring their place as one of the world's most intriguing enigmas. Chapter 6. Enduring Mystery and Modern Protection. Efforts. Despite decades of research and countless theories, the ultimate, definitive purpose of the Nazca Lines remains shrouded in mystery, even as efforts to protect them intensify. The ongoing debate. No single theory has conclusively explained all aspects of the Nazca Lines, while a combination of astronomical, ritualistic, and water-related purposes seems most plausible to many archaeologists. The precise meaning of every line and figure, and the full rationale behind their colossal scale, continues to be debated. The paradox of visibility remains a compelling enigma, a World Heritage Site. The Nazca Lines were designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1994, recognizing their immense cultural and historical value. This designation emphasizes the need for their protection, threats to preservation. Despite their ancient resilience, the lines are fragile and face modern threats. Environmental damage, climate change, with potential for increased rainfall, poses a risk. Human encroachment, illegal mining, construction, and unauthorized vehicle traffic can cause irreversible damage. Tourism, while vital for the region, unregulated tourism can also be a threat. Conservation efforts, strict regulations are in place to protect the lines, limiting access and constantly monitoring the site. Scientists continue to use new technologies like drones and satellite imagery to map and analyze the lines without disturbing them, hoping to uncover more clues about their purpose. The spirit of Maria Reich, the Lady of the Lines, lives on in these dedicated protection efforts. Outro: etched into the Peruvian desert, the Nazca Lines stand as an unparalleled testament to an ancient civilization's enduring legacy and a profound mystery. For centuries, these colossal geoglyphs have gazed up at the sky, their purpose debated by scholars and speculated upon by millions. Were they a grand celestial calendar guiding ancient farmers through the seasons? Were they sacred pathways for ceremonies invoking rain in an unforgiving desert? Or do they hint at a more audacious purpose, a cosmic message intended for visitors from beyond our world? The truth may forever remain hidden beneath the shifting sands of time. Yet, the Nazca Lines continue to inspire awe and wonder, challenging our understanding of ancient ingenuity and reminding us that some of history's greatest secrets are written not in books, but upon the very face of our planet. This has been Adventure Hidden, and we hope you continue to explore the mysteries that blur the lines